Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're talking about Bitcoin, taking a look at what's been going on most recently and what we think might be on the horizon next here for BTC. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Now if you have not yet joined us in Discord, you are missing a trick. Do go ahead and check it out, linked in the description down below. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. It's the first place we go to notify you of the ins and the outs of everything that is going on in the crypto space. So do check it out, linked in the description down below. Now I'm going to be drawing a lot of lines on here, as you can kind of see, ABC structures, WXYZ structures and so forth. This is Elliott Wave theory. In the description below there is a link to the Cheeky School if you're looking for more information on how to understand all of these things. There are some specific rules when it comes to Elliott Wave theory, but the nuts and bolts of it essentially are that we are tracking people's behavior when they are buying and selling an asset, and it gives you some kind of predictive capabilities, understanding that if a particular move or a particular structure appears, then we should expect the next structure in the bigger macro pattern. Okay, so once we kind of understand these things and we understand the psychology of why the price is moving in a specific way, it helps us predict where we think things are likely to go. I couple Elliott Wave theory with smart money concepts, again something that I haven't created a course on yet but will do in the future, that will help you understand kind of why liquidity hunting is a big deal and understanding where pockets of buyers and sellers are essentially. Okay, so hopefully this video is useful, and if you're a bit confused over any of it, then do check out the Cheeky School and the Discord server in the description below. Okay, let's move on and let's talk about this. So Bitcoin paired up with USDT on the hourly chart, and Binance is our data source. I refined our supply area this morning whilst we were on the Twitch stream. That's this yellow box here. Let me just put it back. Okay, and essentially what we're doing here is we've been talking about why we were consolidating in this little range here. This is normally known as a continuation pattern, and again, essentially, basically, it means that we're trading sideways. We're ranging in a sideways motion. Now, the continuation pattern essentially means that you're ranging between a supply area and a demand area, or a support and resistance, as they're all more commonly known. And essentially, what it means is we're going to continue the move that went into the pattern, okay, or into the ranging market. And so that move was up, okay, so we're in the continuation going sideways, and once this continuation pattern completes, then we're going to continue in the direction that we led into it. So it's a giant ABC structure. In this particular case, it could be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, right? In this particular case, it's a nice simple A, B, and C structure, which is actually technically incorrect. It should be more WXY, but I like ABC for the simplicity of saying ABC. So you kind of get the idea within here, right? We should be moving up, and up here we have another supply area, which is interesting. Now, price can't just simply move up. No. In order for the price to move up, they want to make sure, and I say they, I mean market makers and liquidity hunters, they want to make sure that there's no long positions going in this direction when that price moves up. They wouldn't want to gift money away. So we've seen in the last hour here a big wick come down here. This is not a coincidence. This particular wick here comes down and it grabs all of the liquidations for anyone going long. Okay, so everyone's kind of piling in long, thinking the market's going up. Fantastic. But sometimes they've used these little areas down here as their stop losses, because people seem to like really tight stop losses. They over leverage themselves essentially. So they look at these really tight stop losses and they think that seems like a nervous area. I'll just put a stop loss here. Or they look at this one and they think that's going to be a great stop loss right there. And likewise, all the way down here in this little area, they think that's going to be a great stop loss. So what they tend to generally do is they go long, they use one of these areas as a stop loss, and there is liquidity in here. Okay, and you can see that the price loves to go down and chew through all that liquidity. Okay, essentially that's where the money is being made. So when we have these kind of wicks, it's understand that's really what's being happening here, is basically the price is going to go down over here. The price was going to head down into our demand zone, but before that could happen, they had to come up here and liquidate anyone who was shorting the market. Okay, and likewise over here, before that price goes up, they want to liquidate it. So what have we seen in the last 1 hour? The price went down here, liquidated any longs. Okay, and then the price went up here, liquidating any shorts. And where do I think the liquidity is? I think it's down here. So I think we're actually going to move down before we go up, but I do think we're going to move up in towards our supply area, but they want to load up more short positions beforehand. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw on the HTF liquidity finder. Okay, and basically, let me see if I can hide all my drawings here. You can see the green lines and the red lines. Okay, so basically the green lines are your short positions and the liquidity that's associated with those short positions, and the red lines are the liquidity associated with long positions. And you can see right in the middle here, not a lot is happening because, well, they just liquidated all of that. So where is the majority of the money currently sat? Well, it looks like there's a little bit more in the way of long positions than there are short positions. So as I said, I'm expecting the price to move down towards this liquidity, grab this, and then move up. Okay, so increase the short positions up here as people start to feel a little bit confident, and then the price will come on up. So if I throw all my analysis back on, you can see that there isn't actually terribly too much at the moment inside our supply zone from a liquidity point of view. Don't get me wrong, there could be some selling pressure in here from spot traders and things like that. That's also possible, but there isn't actually anything else in there. But we can see there's liquidity right on top of this wick up here, for example. People love to do that as well. So you can see in the demand area right down here, there's a little bit of liquidity. So what do I think the likelihood is? Well, I'm thinking that our subwave here of the C wave is quite likely going to be something like this, and we come in and we do something like that. Okay, and maybe we won't reach as high as I was first thinking. Maybe not 17,200, 17,400. Still possible, but maybe it's going to take a little bit longer to kind of play out in that Fed because there isn't really a lot of liquidity right in here. But I do think the next move is most likely going to be down. I don't think there's a lot of liquidity to be grabbed by moving up. I could be wrong. We could already have completed this. You know, we've moved here, and then we can kind of rally up. That's possible. I don't think that's really likely though. So I'm going to put it out there. I think that it's going to be a bit of a difficult one to kind of get your head around. I wouldn't want to trade this particular market. I would say there's more probability to the downside, but very, very tough to kind of read. So I want to be a little bit cautious on that front. Now, essentially, if we zoom out a fraction further, the bigger macro is still down. There is no kind of disputing that. We do have to move on down here. I do think this is a 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗦. We haven't met the minimum requirements for making that an impulsive structure or anything like that. So I do think that we are in a reasonable position there with basically a zigzag following in just a little fraction further. People might misread that a little bit, but essentially 𝗕𝗪𝗪𝗧 is what I think it is. Then we move up, and you know, it's possible that we are done at that $17,000 level, but I still think that there's still progression there. There's still liquidity up and a little bit higher, and I think it will get created a bit more. So as we can kind of see, the price is starting to move down a fraction here as it's potentially going to be heading down into our demand zone. But I wouldn't get too carried away in thinking that the market's going to completely tank and the rug's going to be pulled from beneath people. I think we have to move up before we move down in a bigger way. It's a giant game of liquidity. Where is the money? How do they, whales, the institutional players, the market makers, grab as much of that money as possible? And yeah, you're going to see this price probably fluctuate quite a bit as more retail investors potentially load up their positions. Now, we have seen a couple of exchanges like OKX see heavy amounts of money being piling in. You can take a look at the stuff that's going on with Twitter and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, there's a few decent positions in USDT piling onto the OKX exchange. So that could be a fueling a move to the upside if they are looking at BTC. It could be that we rapidly move up there, and all they're looking to do right now is basically increase those short positions before they do so. Keep an eye on that. I do think we're going to see some pretty interesting kind of movements here. But essentially, if I zoom out a little bit further, there isn't actually terribly too much to note. All we've been doing for a while now is being stuck inside this little range here. We might want to look at it as a head and shoulder pattern potentially. Depends on how you kind of want to look at that kind of stuff. But Elliott wave theory kind of maps it all out quite nicely for us. I do expect us to move on down, but I'm not expecting the bigger moves to the downside to happen this year. I would expect it to be Q1 2023, as it's only a few weeks away, and I think essentially that there's plenty of time to kind of see this play out a bit. So timing is going to be hard, but I do think we're going to see a lot of volatility here. There's going to be some fantastic trading opportunities. I don't think Bitcoin is worth the trading opportunities, but I do think there's some opportunities outside of this. And again, I do think at some point we have to move up a bit. I don't think there's a huge requirement for Bitcoin, but there definitely is on some of these altcoins. They definitely want to be moving up a fraction more before they move down. So Bitcoin could continue to sideways trade here before having that rug pulled from it. That's not a problem. But many altcoins are looking primed for a bit of a move to the upside overall. So essentially BTC here do expect some volatility. I still think there's the potential move up higher, but I'm not expecting terribly too much from the price action. Very difficult read overall, but I'll be doing another video update on BTC tomorrow. We'll see how things progress today, and yeah, do watch out for that one. Guys, I'm going to leave this video right there. If you found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Don't forget, guys, join us in Discord. You won't regret it, in my opinion. Till the next one, have a fantastic day.